dear friends. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine. And you?
I'm also fine. Now I can ask about your some question, your personality.
Yes.
What time do you get up?
I get up at 6 a.m.
What do you have for breakfast?
and I have for my breakfast roti and egg.
How do you go to school?
I go to school by cycle.
What do you games or sport? Do you play and why?
I play football because it's my favorite game and it is very interesting game.
What is your favorite sports star?
My favorite sports star is Diego Maradona and Lionel Messi.
When do you home from school?
I from school is 4 p.m.
Do you go home at the same time every day?
No.
What is the first thing you do when you get back home?
I get back home. The first thing is I wash my hand and take a bath.
How long do you watch television every day?
In 30 minutes.
What is your favorite program?
My favorite program is WWE.
How often do you go out with your friends?
In a week.
What time do you go to bed?
I go to bed at 10 p.m.
What is your favorite dream for the future?
In my future, I want to be an army officer. And can I ask you some questions for yourself and personal information?
Of course, why not?
What time do you get up?
I get up at 6 p.m. 6 a.m.
What do you have for breakfast?
I have breakfast for roti and tea.
How do you get to school?
I go to school on my foot.
What games or sports do you play and why?
I play football because it is very exciting game.
Who is your favorite sports star?
My favorite sports star is Neymar.
When do you go home from school?
I go home from school at 4 p.m.
Do you go home at the same time every day?
Yes.
What is the first thing you do when you get back home?
I wash my hands and mouth.
How long do you watch television every day?
Yeah, 1 hour.
What's your favorite program?
My favorite program is cartoon.
How often do you go out with your friends?
Yeah, every day I go out with me.
Where do you go and what do you do together?
We are go to playground and play football.
What time do you go to bed?
I go to bed at 12 p.m.
What is your dream in future?
I want to be a good man.
Thank you.
Thank you. Most thank you.
Hi Mahis, how are you?
Hello, I'm fine. And you?
I am also fine. I have some questions to your fact 5.
Yes. Why not?
What time do you get up?
I get up at 5:30 o'clock in the morning.
What do you have for breakfast?
I have egg, bread, roti for breakfast.
How do you get to school?
I get to school on foot.
What games or sports do you play and why?
I play cricket because it's my favorite game and it feeds my body.
Who is your favorite sports star?
My favorite sports star is Lionel Messi.
When do you go home from school?
I go home from school at 1 p.m.
Do you go home at the same time every day?
No.
What is the first things you do when you get back home?
After getting back home, I wash my hand and face clearly and change my clothes.
How long do you watch television each day?
I watch television each day 2 hours.
What's your favorite program?
My favorite program on TV is Dadagiri and Italy.
How often do you go out with your friends?
Every Friday I go with my friends.
Where do you go?
I go playground.
What do you do together?
I play together.
What time do you go to bed?
I go to bed at 11:30 p.m.
What is your dream for the future?
I want to be a business career. Thank you. Can I ask you some personal question?
Yes.
Okay. What time do you get up?
I get up at 5:30 a.m.
What do you have for breakfast?
I have for my breakfast as roti and potato fry.
How do you get to school?
I get to school at my rickshaw.
What games or sport do you play and why?
I play cricket because this is fitness, my physical exercise.
Who is your favorite sports star?
My favorite sports star is Lionel Messi.
When do you go home from school?
I go home from school at 2 p.m.
Do you go home at the same time every day?
Yes.
What is the first thing you do when you get back home?
I get back home at the first things in wash my hands and mouth.
How long do you watch television each day?
Every day. I watch television at 1 hour.
What's your favorite program on TV?
My favorite program is National Geography and CID.
How often do you go out with your friends?
I go out with my friends every day.
Where do you go?
I go in our playground.
What do you do together?
I am playing cricket.
What time do you go to bed?
I go to bed at 12 p.m.
What's your dream for the future?
I want to be a captain of Bangladesh Air Force. Thanks for your information.
Hello sir, how are you?
I am fine. You?
I'm also fine. Actually, I'm asking some question about your personal fact.
Yes, of course.
Can I ask?
Yes.
What time do you get up?
I get up at 6:30 o'clock in the morning.
What do you do? What do you have for breakfast?
In breakfast, I have tea and biscuit.
How do you get to school?
I get to school on foot.
What games or sports do you play and why?
I play cricket because it's my favorite game and it keeps my body fit.
Who is your favorite sports star?
In cricket, my favorite sports is Mustafa Rahim, and in football, Lionel Messi.
When do you go home from school?
I go home from school at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Do you go home at the same time every day?
No.
What is the first thing you do when you get back home?
I wash myself. I wash my hands and my mouth.
How long do you watch television each day?
I watch television 1 hour each day.
What's your favorite program?
My favorite program is Dalagiri and CID.
How often do you go out with your friends?
In a week.
Where do you go?
We go in cricket field.
What do you do together?
We play cricket.
What time do you go to bed?
I go to bed at 11:30 o'clock at night.
What is your dreams for the future?
In future, I want to be a cricketer. Now, I want to ask you the same question.
Okay, you can ask me.
What time do you get up?
I get up at 5 a.m.
What do you have for breakfast?
I have different eatables in my breakfast. Sometimes I eat roti with vegetable roti with omelette, or sometimes also rice with something.
How do you get to school?
I get to school on my foot.
What games or sports do you play? Why?
I play football most because it keeps my body fit and keeps the soundness of my health and it refreshes me.
Who is your favorite sports star?
My favorite sports is Sun Hyun.
Okay. When do you go home from school?
I go home after 1 a.m. from school.
Do you go home at the same time every day?
No, I don't go at the same time every day.
What is the first thing what is the first thing you do when you get back home?
After getting back home, first I wash my hands with soap. After 20 seconds, then remove my mask and wash my teeth. After wash my hands.
How long do you watch television each day?
Normally 40 to 50 minutes average.
What is your favorite program?
My favorite program is science-related programs.
How often do you go out with your friends?
3 or 4 days in a week.
Where do you go? What do you do together?
We go to riverside and we talk with each other about day-to-day activities.
What time do you go to bed?
I go to bed around 11 p.m. but it can be different in different days.
What is your dreams for the future?
In future, I want to be an entrepreneur and an artist.
Okay, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. See you later.
Hello Rafin, how are you?
I am fine. And you?
I am also fine. Can I ask you some question?
Yes.
What time do you get up?
I get up very early in some vegetables.
How do you get to school?
I get to school on foot.
What games or sports do you play and why?
I like to play football because it's a fun game to watch and play, and it is also a game to being physical, and I love to do it.
Who is your favorite sportsman?
My favorite sporter is Neymar. His skills attract me very much. I think there is no footballer in the world he is a such skill.
When do you go home from school?
I go home from school at 1 p.m.
Do you go home at the same time every day?
Yes.
What is the first thing you do when you get back home?
When I get back home, I put off my clothes, then I wash my hands. After I wash my hands, I relax sometime.
How long do you watch television?
I watch television more than 1 hour.
What's your favorite program?
My favorite program is National Geography.
How often do you go out with your friends?
2 or 3 days in.
Where do you go? What do you do together?
We go to the playground, we do many things together. We play football, cricket, gossiping about our studies, and go to school.
What time do you go to bed?
I go to bed at 11:30.
What's your dream for the future?
For the future, my dream is to become a doctor. Now I can interest to ask you the same question.
Yes, you can.
What time do you get up?
I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
What do you have for breakfast?
I have a fried egg and some bread.
How do you get to school?
I go to school by cycle.
How do you go to school? What games or sports do you like to play?
I play cricket because cricket is an enjoyable game.
Who is your favorite sportsman?
My favorite sportsmen are Lionel Messi and Paulo Dybala.
When do you back home from school?
I came back from school at 1 p.m.
Do you go home at the same time every day?
No,
What is the first things you do when you get back home?
I wash myself.
How long do you watch television each day?
I watch television only 30 minutes.
What is your favorite program?
My favorite program is wrestling.
How often do you have for friends?
I go out with my friends after finishing my homework.
Where do you go and what do you do together?
I go to field and we play cricket.
When do you get to bed?
I go to bed at 10:30 p.m.
What is your dream for the future?
I want to be an engineer.
Thank you.
That's all. Thank you very much.
Hi Ifti, how are you? Can I ask you some questions about your personal fact?
Yes, I am ready to reply your question.
Okay, thank you. Your first question, what time do you get up?
I get up 6 a.m.
What do you have for your breakfast?
I have roti and some vegetables in the for breakfast.
How do you get to school?
I get to school by Easter.
What games or sports do you like? Do you play and why?
I play cricket and one side it fits me and it is my favorite game also.
Thank you. Who is your favorite sports star?
My favorite poster is CR7.
When do you go to home from your school?
I go to home from 5:30 a.m. p.m.
Do you go home at the same time every day?
No, I can go the same time every day.
What is the first thing do you while get you home back?
First I refresh myself, then I change my clothes and take a bath.
Okay. How long do you watch television each day?
I watch 2 hours television this week.
What's your favorite program?
My favorite program is Man vs. World.
How often do you go out with your friends?
I go 3 days in a week with my friends.
Where do you go?
I go in our local playground.
What do you do together?
We play cricket together.
What time do you go to bed?
I go to bed at 1 a.m.
What is your dream for the future?
My dream is for the future is to be a content hacker.
Thank you for your information.
And I'm also interested to ask you some questions.
And you can ask me some.
What time do you get up?
Generally, I get up 6 a.m. but sometimes I get up late, 6:30 a.m.
What do you have for breakfast?
Actually, I take bread and a bowl and a glass of milk for my breakfast.
Thank you. How do you get to school?
I like to walk, so I get to my school on my feet.
What games or sports do you like?
I like to play cricket because it's my favorite game, and another it ensure my body fitness.
And who is your favorite sports star?
My favorite sports star is Lionel Messi.
Why do you go home? When do you go home from school?
I go home at 1 p.m. from my school.
Do you go home at the same time from school?
Yes, I go home at the same time from my school.
What is the first thing you do when you get back home?
After back home, I change my clothes, then I wash my hands and face, and then I take few minutes rest, and then I take a bath for my freshness.
How long do you watch television these days?
I was 2.5 hours.
What's your favorite program?
My favorite program is Sports and Discovery and also National Geographic.
How often do you go out with your friends?
I go out every day with my friends.
Where do you go?
I go to Jacob.
And what do you do with your friends?
I go with my friends. We have played cricket, football, basketball, and any games.
What time do you go to bed?
I go to bed at 11 p.m.
What's your dream for the future?
In future, I want to be an honest man, and also I want to be a good software engineer. So pray for me for my success. And thank you very much.
From your discussion, you are similar to me. Thank you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Ramaju, how are you?
I'm fine. And you?
I'm also fine. Can I ask you some question about yourself?
Yeah, sure.
What time do you get up?
I get up at 5:30 am.
What do you have for breakfast?
I have roti and vegetables in my breakfast.
How do you get school?
I get school on my foot.
What games and sports do you play and why?
I play cricket and football.
Who is your favorite sports star?
My favorite sports star is Lionel Messi.
When do you go home from school?
I go home from school at 1:30 p.m.
Do you go home at the same time every day?
No, sometimes I got late.
What's the first thing you do when you get back in?
When I get home, at first I take my bath.
How long do you watch television each day?
I watch television 1 hour each day.
What is your favorite program?
My favorite program is Soy and Star Movies.
How often do you go out with your friends?
I go out with my friends in weekends.
Where do you go?
We go on the playground and visit some places.
What do you do together?
We play games and sports and talk each other.
What time do you go bed?
I go bed at 12:30 p.m.
What is your dream for the future?
In future, I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to ask you some question too.
Yes.
What time do you get up?
I get up at 6 p.m. and
What do you have for breakfast?
I have for breakfast roti and egg.
How do you get to school?
I get to school on my feet.
What games or sports do you play?
I play cricket because it's my favorite game.
Who is your favorite sports star?
My favorite sports star is Emily.
When do you go from school?
I go from school at 1 p.m.
Do you go from school? Do you go home at the same time every day?
Yes.
What is the first thing you do when you get back home?
I wash my hand and mouth
How long you watch television every day?
and half an hour.
What is your favorite program?
My favorite program is Grandma's Story.
How often do you go out with your friends?
I play cricket.
Where do you go?
I go on a playground.
What do you do together?
I play cricket.
What time do you go to bed?
I go to bed at 10 p.m.
What is your dream for the future?
I want to be an army officer.
Okay, thank you. Hello, Mia. How are you?
I'm fine. And you?
I'm fine. Now I'm at the question about your personal life.
Yes.
What time do you wake up?
I get up and eat eggs.
What do you have for breakfast?
I have for breakfast bread and jelly.
How do you get to school?
I get to school on foot.
What games or sports do you play? Why?
I play football because it is good for health.
Who is your favorite sports star?
My favorite sports star is Lionel Messi.
When do you go home from school?
I go home from school at 1 p.m.
Do you go home at the same time every day?
No, I don't go home at the same time every day.
What is the first thing you do when you get back home?
When I get back home, at first I take a bath.
How long do you watch the television?
I watch television half an hour each day.
What's your favorite program?
My favorite program is Never's World.
How often do you go out with your friends?
Every day I go out with my friends.
Where do you go? What do you do together?
I go in playground and we play football together.
What time do you go to bed?
I go to bed at 12 a.m.
What is your dream for the future?
My dream for the future to be a software engineer. Can I ask me same question? What time do you get up?
I get up at 6 a.m.
What do you have for breakfast?
I have for breakfast rice, vegetable, and egg and chicken.
How do you get to school?
I get to school by 6.
What games or sports do you play and why?
Yes, I play football because it's my favorite.
Who is your favorite sportsman?
My favorite sport name is.
When do you go home from school?
I go home from school at 2 p.m.
Do you go home at the same time every day?
No, I'm not go home at the same time.
What is the first thing you do when you get back home?
I get back home, wash my hands the first.
How long do you watch television each day?
I watch television each day 1 hour.
What's your favorite program?
My favorite program Discovery and National Geographic.
How often do you go out with friends?
I go out with friends one day the free time.
Where do you go? What do you do together?
We are not play. I go field. We are play football.
What time do you go to bed?
I go to bed at 11 a.m.
What is your dream for the future?
My doctor is not a dream for the future. Thank you.
Okay, bring. Hello, dear. How are you?
I'm fine. And you?
Yes. May some portion is your personal fact.
Yes. Why not?
What time do you get up?
I get up at 6 o'clock.
What do you have for breakfast?
My breakfast roti, banana and
How do you get to school?
I get to school by 5.
What games or sports do you play? Why?
I play football because football is most interesting game and football is a world.
Who is your favorite sports star?
My favorite sports are Maradona and Lionel Messi.
When do you go to home for school?
I go to home from school on the TV.
Do you go home at the same time every day?
No,
What is the first thing you do when you get back home?
I get back home. I wash my hand and take a bath.
How long do you watch television each day?
I television half an hour every day.
What's your favorite program?
My favorite program is Discovery Food Festival.
How often do you go out with your friends?
I go out with my friends in a week.
Where do you go?
I go on field and play football.
What time do you go to bed?
I go to bed at 10 p.m.
What's your dream for the future?
In my future in dream an army officer.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can I some question? Your personal.
Yes.
What time do you get up?
I get up 6 a.m.
What do you have for breakfast?
I breakfast bread and egg.
How do you get to school?
I get to school by cycle.
What games and sports do you play? Why?
My favorite sport is football. He is a physical exercise.
Who is your favorite sports?
My favorite sport star is Lionel Messi.
Where do you go home from school?
I go home for school 10:30 p.m.
Do you go home at sometime every day?
No,
What is the first thing you do when you get back home?
I wash hands and mouth.
How long do you watch television every day?
I watch half an hour.
What is your favorite program?
My favorite program is National Geography.
How often do you go out with your friends?
Play cricket.
Where do you go?
Play
What
playground.
What time do you go to bed?
I go to bed at 10:30 p.m.
What is your dreaming for the future?
My dream in my future in a teacher. Thank you. This was nice moment.
Hello, Toya. Hello, Toya. How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I am also fine. Can I ask you some questions in your personal fact?
Yes, of course.
What time do you get up?
I get up 6 o'clock in the morning.
What do you have for breakfast?
I have for breakfast egg and milk.
How do you get to school?
I get to school on time.
What games and sports do you play like?
I play football because it's my favorite.
Who is your favorite sport?
My favorite sports star is football is Lionel Messi.
When do you go to home from school?
I go to home at 1 p.m.
If you go home from school in same time,
No.
what is the first thing you do when you get back home?
When I get back home, I wash myself.
How long do you watch television each day?
Each day, I watch television only for 5 minutes.
What's your favorite program?
My favorite program is National Geography.
How often do you go out with your friends?
I go out with my friends after 1 week.
Where do you go? And what do you do it together?
I go out to the playground and we play many games together.
What time do you go to bed?
I go to bed at 11 p.m.
What is your dream of future?
I want to make it there. Can you ask me the same questions? About
Yes.
your personality? What time do you get up?
Wake up 5 a.m.
What do you have for breakfast?
I have a cup of tea and some cookies for my breakfast.
How do you get to school?
I get to school on my foot.
What games or sports do you play? Why?
I play football because it keeps my body healthy and fit.
Who is your favorite sports star?
My favorite sports star is Cristiano Ronaldo.
When do you go home from school?
I go home from school at 1:30 p.m.
Do you go home at the same time every day?
No.
What is the first thing do you when you get back home?
First of all, I wash my hands and face.
How long do you watch television?
I watch television half an hour in each day.
What's your favorite program?
My favorite program is Discovery and all of the Marvel series.
How often do you go out with your friends?
I go out every day with my friends in afternoon.
Where do you go? What do you do together?
We go in cycle ride.
What time do you go to bed?
I go to bed at 10:30 p.m.
What's your dream for the future?
My dream is to be a good person and to be a businessman in future.
Nice to meet you.
Before